There you go. Welcome, Danny. Welcome to class. Nice to have you here. And let's get started with today's class, shall we? So today, Danny, we're going to take a look at something that we use in English a lot, especially in conversation. Of course, we also use this when we are writing. Maybe you've heard it in music. Maybe you've seen it if you're reading something on an article online or something. But today's presentation, I always thought that the Mediterranean and Morocco is very nice. So I made today's presentation of Morocco. I think it's a good touristic destination. I don't know. I thought it was nice. All right, let's continue here. So today's class, what have you done lately? In this question, you see that we're using this thing called the present perfect. I'm going to show you how to use it, and we'll do some practice. We'll have some conversation using this verbal tense, this grammatical tense. Well, what is this? What is the present perfect? What does that mean? How do you use it? So the present perfect, we use this to express an action or something that existed at some time in the past, something that happened in the past. Normally, when we talk about things that happened yesterday or any time in the past, we use something that is called the simple past. For example, yesterday I watched a movie. I cleaned my house. I started a new job. That is the simple past. We usually use the simple past to talk about things that we did in the past and are finished. But this thing, when we use this tense here, we use it to talk about something we did in the past, but we don't say when. No decimos cuándo. And when we use this, we always have to use the word have or has and the action word, the verb. So for example, if we say Sal has drunk his juice already, we don't know when Sal drank the juice. Maybe he drank it 5 minutes ago. Maybe he drank it yesterday. We don't know. So let's take a look at some more examples here. The present perfect can also talk about something that started in the past and is still happening now. We use this in Spanish. Si algo que empezó en el pasado y aún está sucediendo. For example, John has played basketball all year. That means he started in the past, and right now, Isabel is coming. He is still playing basketball. So in Spanish, it would be something like, Joshua ha jugado baloncesto todo el año. We know he began in the past, and he is still doing it now. The day that Joshua stops playing basketball, we would say Joshua played basketball, and that means he doesn't do it anymore. It's finished action. Hello, Isabel. Welcome to class. Nice to have you here.
Hi, teacher.
Hey. So here we were talking about the present perfect, Isa. I'm just giving some examples. So the action of playing basketball began in the past, is still going on today, as we see in the sentence, Joshua has played basketball all year. So let's take a look at these words here. If I had to use the present perfect in a sentence, I would say they have just gotten married. For example, they have just got married or they have just gotten married. Both are correct. So I'm going to show you something, as you can see there from the sentence. So check this out here. When you are learning English, right? When you are learning English, let's see, take a look at one here. Maybe this one. When we are learning English, you always think about the action word and how do you say it in the past? Normally, when we say an action word in the past, we add D or ED, D or ED, or IED. But for this tense here, we are going to use this one. Let me show you here. Maybe I am older than you guys, so you don't remember this, but when people used to learn English, they would take like a photocopy of the verbs and then you have to memorize them, right? Well, think about the irregular verbs, los verbos irregulares, los que no se le agrega de o ed, like played, watched, aunque terminan ed, mire que tiene esa pronunciación de t, watched. When we don't add the d or the ed, we call it irregular. A esos que no se le ponen d o ed y cambian totalmente, por eso son irregulares. For example, the word, let's take a very popular one. For example, I don't know, bring. Bring is the verb in the present. In the past, we say brought. Look, brought, no le agregamos de o ed, we say brought. And the past participle is brought. So when we're using this tense of the present perfect, we're always going to use these verbs, esos like de la tercera columna. Another very popular one, for example, is the verb go, right? So let me find here on this list of verb go. Or get, here we go, that's a very popular one. Get in the present. In the past, we say got. I got sick yesterday. I got a new job. But in the past participle, we can say gotten. You can also say got, pero note que no se agrega de o ed. Siempre vamos a utilizar esos terceros. Seen, taken, gotten, given. These third ones from the third column, all right? Those are the ones we're always going to use when we're using this present perfect. All right. For this tense, guys, for this tense, when we use I, you, we, y they, we are going to use have. I have, you have, they have, we have. But if we use he, she, or it, even if it's a positive sentence or a negative sentence, we're going to use has. Let's take a look at the sentence here. So how would we say this in the present perfect? We would say, they have just seen a ghost. Ese just, it significa como hace poco tiempo, como justo ahora in Spanish, right? All right, let's take a look at this one. Danny, take a look at this sentence here. Here we're going to use she because it's a woman. And remember with she, what do we use? What do we say? Do you remember? Have or has. And then...
She has just a shower.
Okay, very good. Now, here we have. Now, like I said before, we always have to use have or has. But in this case, here, let me show you on a new document here. So we use have or has for he, she, it, but make this white here. So it says she have a shower, but we're missing something. We should say she has just had a shower. ¿Y por qué? Porque este have or has que utilizamos aquí, que sería en español como e o a, she has just had a shower, ella apenas ahora o justo ahora se ha bañado. Ese a o e, I'll give you another example. As él ha terminado su trabajo. Este has sería como el a o e. So this here is the auxiliary and this had is the verb que viene de have. Yo sé que suena muy raro uno ver el has y después el had, pero hay que acordarnos que uno es el auxiliar y el otro es como la acción, como e o a en español. So, all right, so you said, Danny, she has just, and you have to say here the have, change it. She has just had a shower. She has just had a shower. Nos acordamos que también have es un verbo irregular y en el participio pasado usamos had. She has just had a shower. Okay, Danny, thank you so much. Isa, why don't you try this one here? How would we say this sentence with the present perfect? You want to try, Isa?
I have to use shopping.
Okay, I have just shopping. We're missing something. So it's just like this. Just be in shopping. Let's do the sentence with you. You say, I have just, in this be, we have to change it. We have to change it to this tense that we're talking about here, which is this one here. And the past participle of be is been. So we have to say, I have just been shopping. Or if we're going to talk about the woman, for the woman, we can say, she has just been shopping. Like this. She has just been shopping. All right, Isa, thank you so much. Danny, you want to try this one, please? With he. Do it with he. Danny, can you hear me?
Yeah, teacher. Just give me 1 second.
Sure. Take your time. Take your time. If you're not sure, maybe you have a question, I'll be happy to
Yes,
help you.
I'm not sure
Okay.
because it's so confused. I'm sorry.
No. No worries. Here, let's take a look at it together. Let's take a look at it together. You know what? I'm going to put here like the structure. So I'm going to put here the subject. And then we're going to use have or has. And then the verb. And then the complement. So let's do some together. So I'm going to say Daniela has just eaten dinner. So let's take a look at that. The subject here is Daniela. And then we have or has. We have to use one or the other. We use have when we talk about we, they, you, or I. When the subject is I, you, we, or they, we use have. When the subject is he or she or it, we use has. So here we talk about Daniela. Daniela is like saying she. So we would say Daniela has, right? And so this here is going to be like, I would say the auxiliary. Let's say the auxiliary. The auxiliary. So here we have the auxiliary. Daniela has just, this is a complementary word, no problem. But then we have the verb, the action word. What is the action word in this sentence? Eaten. Eaten. So that's going to be the verb there. And then we have the complement. The complement can be anything. Yesterday, last week, lately, I don't know. It could be anything. So this is the complement here.
Teacher, question.
Sure.
This option, I'm sorry, I'm running right now.
No problem. Multitasking. I like it, Danny. Multitasking. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, in this option is when I need to say something continue.
Oh, okay. That's a good question. So when do we use this? When do we use this test? We use this test to talk. We use this to talk about something or an action that happened in the past with no definite time. So, for example, you say, teacher, the movie Adventures, wasn't that movie fantastic? And I say, I have seen that movie. It's okay. So now I told you I saw the movie, but I didn't tell you when. No definite time. That is one way to use it. The other use of this tense, we also use this to talk about. Another use is to talk about an action that started in the past and is still happening now. So like what? For example, I can say, I have been a teacher for many years. So we use it for these two things, to talk about something that happened in the past, but we're not specific about when. For example, we use it in Spanish too. Yo he visitado muchos lugares, but you didn't say when. Ellos han probado esa bebida, but you don't say when. And also we use it to talk about something that happened or started in the past and is still happening now. Algo que empezó en el pasado y todavía está sucediendo. For example, I have been a teacher for many years. Todavía soy profe. El día que me retire, ya no puedo usar esto. Ya usaría el pasado simple. Ya diría, I was a teacher for many years. Finished action. But here, for something that happened in the past and still happening now, we can use this. For example, you say, yo me he leído muchos libros. I have read many books. That means you started reading in the past and you're still reading now, and you're going to continue maybe reading in the future. So we use it to talk about these two things. So for example, in this sentence here, we can say he has just participated in a race, but we don't know if it was 5 minutes ago or a month ago. We're not sure. So we use this in Spanish too. And in Spanish, when we use this have or has, que utilizamos aquí, auxiliar, en español sería como o a, o han. Yo he, ellos han, etc. All right, let's try. So you want to try one, Danny? Let's try one. Let's try this one here.
Okay, so
And let's talk about they, because it's two people.
So they have painted
Yes.
just their house.
They have just painted their house. They have. Now, it's not necessary to use just. Yo lo metí ahí, pero no es necesario. You could say they
Okay,
have,
and just is not mandatory.
No, it's not mandatory. We could say they have painted their house. That's it.
Okay,
Ellos
gotcha.
han pintado su casa. We don't know when, but they did it. They did it. They have just painted their house. There you go. All right, Dan, you're getting the idea. Isa, want to try this one? I see we have two trucks, and they got into an accident. What would we say? Isa, can you hear me? All right, I'm going to do this one for Isa. So this one would say, they have just had an accident. They have just had an accident. That would be this one here. Let's go to another one. Danny, you want to try this one?
Sure. Okay, so he has played a football match.
That's it. He
Okay.
has played a football match.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Okay, so here is common to listen something like I just got here.
I just got here.
Como-
Exactly.
Oh my God, yo al principio decía, ¿qué estás diciendo? No entiendo. Pero es muy común, so ahora lo entiendo.
Yeah, I just got here. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, uno se aprende cosas como porque así se dicen.
Yeah, it's like, it's just part of the culture. That's just it.
Yeah.
It's just part of the culture. Yeah.
So ahora entiendo más como el por qué,
Exactly.
cómo formular como una respuesta yo misma.
Yeah, and we have a lot there. Also, Danny, is that we have a lot of verbs, like action words that have 2 words or more. Like, for example, sit down. Sit down is a very common phrasal verb, but we have so many in English. For example, you say, hey, what time does the movie start? And you say, I don't know. Somebody says, look it up. Look it up. If you translate it, you say, look it up. What do you mean, look it up? What is it? But that means, investigate it, look it up. So there's a lot of things that, for example, those vocabulary words of 2 or 3 words, look it up is 3 words, but it really means one thing. It's a phrase that means one thing. It means to investigate. So there's a lot of things like that. And English has many thousands of words more than Spanish. I think Spanish is more difficult because it has more grammatical tenses. For example, in Spanish is ir, fue, fuimos, fueron, fuiste. There's so many ways you can change the verb, conjugate. In English, there's less, but in
Teacher,
English, there's so much more vocabulary. Yeah, Danny.
good question.
Sure.
Do you have something page like with so many examples, the phrasal verbs?
Phrasal verbs. Oh yeah, I
It's
have a.
phrasal
Yeah,
verbs.
I can give you a PDF that has
Yeah, perfect.
hundreds of phrasal verbs.
Oh my
But
gosh.
Danny, but I'm going to show you something, okay? That can
Okay,
be very,
perfect.
very useful for you. What kind of what do you when you normally investigate or when you're online on your phone? What do you normally use? Is it Google or use Safari? What do you use to look stuff up?
Google.
Google. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
The cool thing about Google is Google has an integrated dictionary. So let me
Okay.
show you what I mean. Let's say you don't know a phrasal verb that says work it out. So you put the phrasal verb, and then you can put the word meaning or definition, and you can do this with any word. It doesn't have to be a phrasal verb. You can do this with any word. But if you do that, you're going to see that Google will give you the definition, and there's even a feature in Google where it can help you with the pronunciation. So I'm going to show you here. For example, workout. Workout as a phrasal verb has two words, but it means one thing. So it means to plan something. Let's work it out. It could also mean to solve a problem. It has more definitions. There's many more, as you can see. There's many, but you can listen to it here. I'm going to share the sound here on my computer, so you can listen to it.
Workout.
Workout. There you go. And if you do, I'm going to put out one word here. Let's say one of my favorite words, the word plethora. If I put plethora meaning, I can listen to it.
Plethora.
Oh, look. There you go. And you can click on where it says learn to pronounce. And then it gives you the option to practice the pronunciation. You can see how to move your lips.
Plethora.
And you can click on this little icon here and you can practice the pronunciation. Plethora. And then it will tell you if you pronounce the word correctly or incorrectly. So plethora. There you go. That's me. So it can teach a lot of things, but I'm going to show you a PDF because, like you said, Danny, there's so many words that you don't know. So how do you look in a dictionary for a word that you don't know exists, right? So I'm going to share that with you as soon as we finish class. I think I have one around here. But yeah, Danny, there's just so many phrasal verbs. It's crazy. All right, let's go to another one here. We see an airplane in sentence, and it just arrived from another place. So what do we say here? I don't know. I know Danny is running, and I know Isa is working. I don't know if Isa, maybe you can help me with this. If you can, it's okay. I'll do it. But we have the plane, and remember that when a plane touches the runway, when it gets to the airport, we say land. And so we say in Spanish aterrizar, right? También es tierra. También depende el uso, el contexto. So we say here the plane. What will we say? We would say the plane has just landed. Here we use has because we're talking about the plane. One plane. It has just landed. All right. Let's go with this one. Danny, we have this family of 3, and we see they had a nice time cooking or baking. What will we say there?
So they have baked a cake.
Very good. Very
Okay.
good. They have baked the cake. They've just baked the cake. Very good. Good job. You know, something else I also want to point out here that we can do the contraction of the subject and the have or has. What do I mean by that? So I'm going to give you an example here. We just saw the family, and we saw they have baked a cake. We can do the contraction, and instead of saying they have, we can say they've baked a cake. And that this is also much more common when people are having conversations where they do the contractions. So you can do it with the subject and the have and the subject and the has. So instead of saying maybe they have baked a cake, maybe I want to talk about she. I can say she has cried a lot. Very sad for her. I'm very sad for her. Or we can say she's cried a lot. It's the same thing. It's just that this one here is like the contraction of she has. That's all. So we can do that too. Very common,
Yeah,
very
it's
common.
easier.
All right,
Yeah,
we're gonna
it's
do
easier. I saw that
yeah, it's definitely
it's
easier.
very common. Yeah, but it's,
Yeah, the
for me
contractions.
maybe is difficult when my pronunciation is not perfect, you know? So maybe it's
But you know,
not confused or
no, you know what, Danny? I don't think your accent is very confusing. I think you just need more vocabulary, but I think your accent is pretty good. And I think I've never had a problem understanding the word you're trying to say. So, and I've always
okay.
told the students this, you know, you can have
Mhm.
perfect pronunciation, but if your grammar is not good or if you don't have the vocabulary, then you can't communicate. So it's better
Okay,
that you
yeah,
have it's better that you have an accent and you have your grammar is very good and your vocabulary is good and you can communicate. You know, that's more
yeah,
preferable.
it's like
Yeah,
a combo.
for sure, for
You
sure,
need,
for sure. And you have to understand too, Danny, that you know when
Mhm.
you're living in the States, and just like Issa should know too, sometimes it's very common for Americans to shorten things as much as possible. Americans have a lot of they have a lot of acronyms, OMG, right? All these things like that. All of these are acronyms where they take a lot of words and they put them together. So maybe if you're texting TTL, TTYL, I should say, TTYL, the people write that. What is that? Talk to you later. You know, we see a lot of that too. So especially if people are texting, they have a lot of acronyms. But something that when you're talking to somebody, maybe you'll hear this. It sounds like this. What you want? But they're really trying to say, what do you want? But it's very common to hear this when you are speaking to somebody, what you want? Or maybe the what you gonna do? What you gonna do? But what they're really saying is what are you going to?
Is
So
like the Bad Boys song.
what you gonna do? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, exactly. What you gonna do? This is very common where people do that a lot. They do that a lot. They put the words together sometimes, and especially if people are talking very fast, it's easy to get confused. All right, guys, we're gonna do an activity now. We're gonna focus on a different skill, and we're going to do something called keeping a conversation going. Sometimes we're having a conversation with somebody, but we don't know what phrases or sentences to say to keep the conversation going so the conversation doesn't die. So in this video, or in this activity, I should say, we are going to see Noelia and Bob, and they're going to talk about Spain. Please listen to the language they use for keeping a conversation going and practice saying the useful phrases. Now, notice in these instructions, practice is with the letter S because this is a British webpage, but practice in the American English is with the letter C. So first, you're gonna listen, you watch the video, and then you'll do these exercises here. You're gonna watch this video here, and I ask that when you click play on the video, try to also put the subtitles in English. This way, you're reading and you're looking at the same
Hi,
time.
I'm Anna.
It's the best thing you can do there. Then you can go to the preparation exercise, which is this one here. And you're going to put these phrases together, phrases that are very common. And then when you finish that section of the preparation section, you're going to do task number 1. And in this section, what you're going to do is you're going to put the sentences in the correct order. How do we do that? You click on one sentence, and then you click on another sentence that you want to change place, con el cual quieren cambiar el orden, and then you put the sentences in the same order as you heard them in the video. That's going to be the other exercise. So that's exercise practically number 2. And the last exercise you are going to do is this one here, where you're going to read the question and then think about the most common or logical answer, and you put it next to the question. For example, what's new? You click on the phrase, and then you click on the box. Nope, not much. So you're going to do that one. And then together, when you all finish, we'll come back and we'll do the last section together. Okay, so I'll repeat again. Watch the video, preparation section, and then task 1, and then task 2. And then we'll come back, have some fun together. We'll do that section, and we'll have some conversation, you and I, with some questions that I prepared using the tense that we're using today, which is the present perfect. And that's it. Good times, good times. All right, I'm going to share the link here in the chat Zoom. I'll also share the link in the WhatsApp group. And if you have any questions, when you come back, we'll go over them together. Enjoy, and I'll see you soon. Let me know when you finish. Good luck. All right, ladies, welcome back. Welcome back. I hope that you do well in the exercise. Let's take a look at it together. Let's see what you came up with. And let's see if we can learn from this activity together. So here we have very common phrase. You probably heard it before. So what's new? What would you say to that, Isa? What sounds like the most logical response?
All good.
All good. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Danny, we have here. What about you? How is it going? What would you respond to that? Yeah, I think maybe Danny's a little busy. Isa, what would you come up with this one? If somebody said, what about you? How's it going?
Great. Thanks.
Great, thanks. All right. In the next one, we have, by the way, where in Peru are you from? Well, this one's easy because we use here Cusco, but
Yeah.
that one's easy. All right, let's go to the next one here. I miss the mountains. I miss the mountains. Now, what is the most logical response to this? The most logical one in this case would be, I know what you mean. I identify with you. I totally understand. And the next one we say, or we have, I used to live in Peru. What do you think would be a good response to that, Eve?
Really, I didn't know that.
Awesome. Fantastic. And the last one, do you speak Spanish?
Yes, I do. Or
Yeah,
not in much.
in this case, it would be, yes, I do. And it's true, right? You do speak Spanish. All right.
Yeah.
You speak Spanish. So nothing much would be a good answer to maybe if somebody says, what's new? What's new? You say nothing much. Nothing much. Nothing's new. Okay, let's correct it. Let's see how we did. I think we have 5 out of 6. We have one mistake. I think it's the first one, but let's check it out. Let's check it out. All right. Boom, 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 boom. So what's new? Now, I know you said all good because this is what we say in Spanish, right? Todo bien. So it's a logical translation, but in English, we would say not much, no mucho. ¿Qué hay de nuevo? No mucho. So this would be the more logical response when we're speaking English there a little bit. Okay, so let's have some conversation. You and I see how we can practice this present perfect a little bit more. Isa, have you ever traveled abroad besides the United States? I know you live in the US right now, but have you ever traveled abroad, maybe to another country?
Yes, when I was a flight attendant,
Wait
I traveled
a
a
second.
lot.
Back it up. Hold on. You were a flight attendant, Isa? Are you being serious?
Yes, I was a flight attendant in Colombia with Avianca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, what an experience, huh?
Yes, I love. It's the best job in the world.
Tell me, what was your schedule like when you were working? Because I hear that people that are flight attendants and are pilots, they have to work 2 weeks and then you get 2 weeks off. Is that really true? Is that the
Or
way it works?
no. No, it depends of the airline, but
Okay.
no, in with Avianca is different. It's for example, Monday you fly to Madrid, Spain,
Right.
and you stay Tuesday in Madrid, rest, relaxing, shopping, and return to Colombia on Wednesday. And
Wednesday.
for example, Thursday, free day, and Friday, for example, Bogota, Cartagena,
So you get like
Cartagena, Pereira.
maybe one day off between flights?
Yes, no always, but yes, it depends. It depends the schedule, but
Wow, that's tough.
always you go and return to your la base de uno, to the base city.
Yeah.
In my case was Bogota. So always travel to Spain and return. Travel to Germany, return. United States, return. No, in another airlines is different. For example, Bogota, Madrid, Madrid, Barcelona, Barcelona, Munich, Munich, Paris, and
I see.
after 10 days, return to your city.
Yeah,
No.
maybe those are the companies that because I have a friend of mine that was studying to be a pilot, and
Uh-huh.
maybe in those companies, they, like you say, maybe they go from one city to another city to another city. Maybe they work for 2 weeks and then get another 2 weeks off. But that's
Uh-huh.
that's
But no,
crazy. But
when
no.
Avianca, no.
Wow. Wow.
Yes,
But it's a cool experience, right? I mean, uh
yes,
I guess you are very used to, you're very accustomed to sleeping in a hotel, right? You get used to that.
yes. We always stay in the hotel and
Same
good
hotel.
hotels.
Good
Yes,
hotels. Did you stay in a room by yourself or did you stay with a colleague?
yes.
By
No,
yourself.
but by myself. Yes,
Oh,
no
that's
for.
fantastic. You can relax, right?
Yes,
Awesome.
yes,
Wow, that's amazing. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So
yes. I love my job.
awesome. Cool. Danny, are you with us?
Danny,
Danny
Danny.
is gone. Oh yeah, okay, so wait. I hope she's okay. I know she was running, so I hope she's okay.
Yeah.
Well, now you're living in the US, Isa, and I know that because you're in the US is kind of dicen que es una olla mezcladora, pues si lo traducimos, but they say in English, it's a melting pot of different cultures. It's a mixture of, different cultures,
Mhm.
foods, people. What kind of foods have you tried from different cultures now that you're living in the US?
No, I don't like, no, dice como, no soy muy arriesgada en ese sentido.
Really? You stick with the safe food, with the safe you are used to, the food that you know.
Ajá, yes,
And
exactly.
and where do you think this maybe you're a little bit afraid, maybe you're a little bit scared. Where did this come from? Did you have maybe a bad experience with some food in the past?
Mm, No, I remember, no,
No?
no,
You just
because always I eat only the conocida food
yeah, the
para
known
mí.
food.
The no food for me, no, nothing strange or something like that, no.
Cool, cool. Well, what is of all the food you have eaten, what is your favorite dish?
Eh, my favorite food is Colombian food. And the dish, we know, I don't know, many are rice with chicken, spaghetti with chicken or beef, cool salads. Oh no, no,
You,
bandeja
you're very
paisa.
healthy. Very healthy.
Asiago.
Yeah, I was gonna say bandeja paisa too,
Eh,
but you're very healthy with your chicken and rice and your
Sí,
pasta and rice and your salads. Cool.
sí.
Well, all right. My next question here is this one here, number 3, and it says, "Have you ever had a difficult conversation with a friend or a family member?" I imagine that when we grow up, sometimes we don't maybe we don't agree with our parents or something. That's normal. But what's a conversation that you thought it was difficult, but you had to have that conversation, and it was with a friend or a family? Do you remember ever having a conversation like that?
Eh, let me think. Oh, give me a moment, please.
Sure. Take your time. Hmm. Hmm.
Um, yes, sometimes, for example, in this moment I live with my cousin,
Yeah.
and sometimes we talk about the como cosas de convivencia,
Yeah.
for example, but no, it's hard. Only, oh, please, leave X cosa ordenada o algo así.
Oh, okay. So it's not too
Pero,
too hard.
yes, no, not too hard. I remember with my friends or another family, no.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I think, like you were telling me that you live with some friends. That can be maybe a little bit difficult sometimes because you say,
Yes.
they're my friend, and I don't want them to get angry and stuff. So yeah, that's normal. But I think sometimes it's
Uh-huh.
necessary. It's a necessary conversation, uh,
Uh-huh.
and sometimes when you have the conversation, you know what you say, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad at all. So I think sometimes we are more afraid of the reality of how bad it can really be. So um
Mhm.
no, I think uh I think we have to be a little more open-minded and trust that things aren't as bad as we think. They're usually not as bad. They're much easier. For me, I'm a father of 2 teenagers, so I have many
Yeah.
difficult conversations all the time. But
Yeah.
that's normal and nothing new there. Um, and no, I think everything is necessary when it comes to communication. It's so much easier to be honest, and I think if you are honest, everything at the end is going to be okay. Everything in the end is
Mm-hmm.
going to be okay. Sometimes when we don't have a conversation that we should have, and then you say, I should have told them before, maybe a consequence, or maybe you didn't tell a friend something you wanted to tell them, and they make a bad decision, or so I think it's always cool to just go ahead. What's the worst that can happen? People aren't going to stop being your friends, right? All right, here we go with another question. Isa, have you ever learned a new skill, or maybe if you remember, what was the last skill you have ever learned, and what was it, and how did you learn it?
Yes. No, give me a moment.
Sure thing, sure thing.
I'm sorry, teacher.
No problem at all, Lisa. I totally understand. I know you're working, so no worry. So Isa,
Okay.
I wanted to ask you, what was the last skill you learned and what was it? How did you learn it?
Hmm. Oh yes. The last skill was drive very good cars.
Drive. Okay.
Parking very good because it's my job. Because when
Yeah.
I was in Colombia, no, really bad. But now I am very good in this job.
Well, now that we're talking about that, you have to park a lot of different cars. And
Yes.
can you now drive stick? Are you good at driving stick or?
No, only the automatic.
Okay. What happens if like a car comes and you have to drive stick? What do you do in that case?
No, I say to the people, please leave in the front. We can park in the front. We have spots.
Oh,
And
okay.
I say to people, oh, please put your car in the front. And the people, oh, okay, okay. Yeah, no more.
That's it.
Yes.
Wow. People are very understanding, huh? They kind of like they get it. I think it's
Uh-huh.
cool that people are very understanding because sometimes I think people need they have to be a little more patient, but I think a lot of people in the US they're very patient. Cool. Uh did you ever have like an accident or a situation where it was not good for your job?
Yes. It was in August.
Oh boy, what
I
happened?
I drive a GNC. It's a big truck.
Yeah.
And when I turn to the right, no sé cómo se dice, pero me subí al andén con la llanta
Oh
de atrás
boy.
y se rompió la llanta.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Oh boy. And did you get in trouble? Like, did your boss say anything?
No, I the poor thing is the client see to
Yeah.
me when happened on the client. Oh
Oh
my God,
boy.
my throat.
Oh boy.
But no, the in this country, all the rich people have all the things with
Insurance.
seguros. Yes,
Yeah.
insurance.
Yeah.
Oh yes, and they said, no, don't worry, please drive safe. And I going to pedir garantía, the
Oh yeah, yeah. Get the guarantee.
the guarantee. The guarantee, and don't worry, you okay, I'm sorry. Pero pudo haber
Wow.
sido peor.
Yeah, yeah. Very lucky. Wow. Phew.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tell me, Isa, do you like to read in your free time? Is reading one of the things you like to do?
Mm, yes, but no, I don't read frequently, but
Yeah.
I like to read books about, for example, motivation or, for example, the 10 pilares of the rich, los 10
Yeah.
pilares de la riqueza, or
Yeah, yeah.
eh, books about that, yes, or
Well,
the food.
can
Yes.
you tell me about a book maybe that you read that has changed your perspective or your opinion about something that maybe changed your thinking?
Yes, I like follow a lot the Doctor Jaramillo.
Mhm.
He's about the good habits, the eat healthy, all of them. And I read the El Milagro Metabólico,
Okay.
and this book changed a lot of things because before I eat really bad. papitas, candies, um, comida chatarra.
Wow. Okay.
¿Cómo se dice? Food, bueno, comida chatarra. And now,
Yeah, junk food, junk food.
junk food is, and now I eat healthy. Gracias al libro.
Wow. Cool. I
Oh,
think it's you know, when we're younger, we don't think about our diet too much, but it really is necessary. It really,
permíteme un momentito.
sure.
I'm sorry.
No worries at all, Lise.
Okay.
So we were talking about maybe a book that you have read that has changed your perspective or your opinion or point of view. What has been a book like that that maybe has changed your perspective?
What is the what? I don't understand the
Yeah, this
question.
is the second question here. Have you ever read a book that has changed your perspective or your opinion on something? Have you maybe read a book that has changed your mind or has made you say, wow, I don't think the same way about this topic as before?
Yes, yes. In my case, because yes, I say, oh my God, I no again. Eat back, no. Eat healthy is better always for all for uh, my salud,
For your health, yeah.
for my health en como en todo, and sí, in general.
In general, for sure.
Yes, and
Have
you,
Go ahead. No, for me, there is a book. I don't know if you have seen this person that um maybe you've seen him maybe on YouTube or something or social media. His name is Jordan Peterson. Have you ever
mm,
have you ever heard of him?
no.
He is he's a psychologist, but
Oh,
he he writes books. They're not about psychology, but they're books about how to live a better life. And
oh,
but it's not the usual, self-help books like Walter Rizzo or nothing like that. It's very different. In fact, I don't know if you have ever read maybe this book. Here, let me show you. This is one of the books that I've read of his. This is the book here. 12 Rules for Life. And this is a book.
no.
No, it's they sell it in Spanish also, 12 reglas para vivir. It's
Yeah.
it's wow, it's so good. It's so good. I mean, I'm gonna just
Oh,
I'm gonna just show you really quick here and then I'll explain. So one of the rules of his book, and each one of the rules is like a chapter in the book. But the first rule is stand up straight with your shoulders back. Stand up straight
oh,
with your shoulders back. What that means is, many people, because they have had difficult situations in their life, maybe they don't have good confidence. Maybe they're maybe sad. They're people that uh, they don't feel they are the best version of themselves. So in this chapter, he talks about how you should try to physically walk straight, looking forward, but also mentally um to have a good perspective about life and yourself. Uh, Number
oh.
two, treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. And I thought this chapter was very interesting because in this chapter, he talks about how like some people have a dog or a cat and they take care of the dog and the cat very much. If
Yes.
the cat or the dog needs medicine, they buy the medicine, they take the dog to the veterinarian and everything. But when it comes to us, when we have to take medicine, when we have to eat healthy, when we have to do exercise, we don't do it. So we treat our pets better than we treat ourselves. And
Yes.
and just like the rule says, we are responsible for helping ourselves. So we have to be more responsible with ourselves. I thought that was a very good chapter.
Mm.
The
Oh,
third one is
interesting.
befriend people who want the best for you. So that means only become friends with somebody who wants the best for you. Sometimes, people have friends that they don't want the best for you. They want you to just have fun with them, just party with them, just spend money with them, but they really don't want the best for you. If you tell them, "Hey, I have a new job. and I'm gonna get more money, more this. There are some friends that will get very envious, or maybe will get very jealous. So he just says here in this chapter number 3, be very careful who is your friend. I thought that was very
Yes.
well, but I mean, the way he writes the book, it's very interesting because it's a little bit of psychology, but a little bit of philosophy. So it's really interesting, really cool.
I'm going to buy for
It's
Amazon.
really good. I'll send you the name of it in send me a message through WhatsApp internally,
Okay.
and I'll send you the name of it.
Okay, yes. Thank you.
Sure thing.
Sounds good.
Number 4 is, and this is very important in today's society. Number 4 says, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Because, you know, nowadays we live in a society where you look at Instagram and you look at, you know, TikTok or different social media or the internet, and you see people have money and they're traveling and they're beautiful and they have good couples and good families and everything's perfect, and you say, why can't I have that life? She's, you know, he's more beautiful, or she's more beautiful, they have more money, they have more of this. And so number 4 says, don't compare yourself to other people. Compare yourself to you. Are you better than you were yesterday? Are you better than who you were last year? That's the only person you should compare yourself to, is yourself. And I think that was very, very good advice, especially in today's society. Number 5 is really more for parents, but I think it can also apply if you have friends. And number 5 says, do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. And, you know, some parents don't like to say it, but some parents don't like their children. Some parents hate their children because their children they're bad kids. They're a pain in the ass. You know, they don't have good behavior. They're rude. But so this number 5, it tells you have to be a good parent, because if you don't like your child, imagine another person who is not their family. They're going to hate your child. And when your child becomes an adult, nobody is going to want to work with them. Nobody's going to want to talk with them. Nobody is going to want to be with them. So it's very important that you do a good job as a parent. Number 6 is fantastic. Number 6 says, set your house in order before you criticize the world. And wow, this is very relevant for today's society, because especially as you can see in the US, Isa, there's a lot of protest, you know, people protesting this, they protest that, war here, war there, and everybody's fighting. But if you go to their house is super disorganized. They're not responsible with their bills. They're not responsible with their family. And so some people want to fix the world, but their house is a disaster. Tanto figurativamente como literalmente, right? So before you can organize the world, you have to organize your life. And then you can try to organize the world. That's number 6. Number 7. This is also very important in today's world, which is pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. What that means is always work hard for something that has purpose, algo que tiene propósito. And something that is expedient is algo que es efímero, algo que no dura nada. So I'll give you a good example. You know, it's a lot of fun when you stay home and maybe you just watch TV and you relax. But you can't live your life like that. When you have those days, those are good once in a while. But if you do that every day, you're going to be miserable. You're going to be sad. You have to do something in your life that gives you drive, that gives you meaning, que le da sentido, that gives you meaning, that gives you purpose. And that is what is going to make you happy. Not these things that they start today and they finish tomorrow, you know? Number 8 is very hard because we as human beings, we lie all the time. Y aunque suene como you know, maybe exaggerated. Usted casi llega. No, en 5 minutos llego, and you're still like 3 hours away.
Yeah.
Shower, right? So number 8 says, tell the truth or at least don't lie. Diga la verdad, o por lo menos no mienta. When you tell a lie, especially when you tell a lot of lies, then your life becomes a lie because you have to do something to cover that lie, and something else to cover that lie, and do something else to cover that lie. So if you tell the truth, everything's going to be okay. And we were talking about this before, you and me, right? Number 9 says, assume whoever you're listening to knows something you don't. And most of the time when we talk to people, especially now, because everything is so fast, because of social media, we want everything fast. The food fast, the answers fast, my life fast, the diet fast, everything fast. And sometimes when we have conversations with people, nos están escuchando, pero realmente no nos están escuchando, sino que ya están planeando cómo contestar antes de nosotros terminar de hablar. So this is what number 9 means. Instead of thinking, what am I going to answer? Listen to people, because we think we know everything, but there is always something that we can learn from another person. Always something we can learn from another person. So listen to people, because there's something that you don't know about them. Maybe they have some information, something new you can learn from them. Number 10 is be precise in your speech. And this is very similar to tell the truth. But if you say you're going to do something, if you promise you're going to do something, if you say you're going to do something, do it. You know? So that's number 10. Number 11 is don't bother children while they are skateboarding. So eso quiere decir, no moleste a los niños cuando están montando patineta. But ¿qué significa eso? What does that mean? That means that in today's world, a lot of parents, they see that maybe their child is doing something that is maybe a little bit dangerous, un poquito arriesgado, you know, a lo mejor está cortando la carne con un cuchillo y tiene 2 o 3 años, right? And they, no, and no, don't do this, don't do that, no, don't play this, no, don't do this, don't do that. So they keep the children in this bubble, in esta burbuja, and then they never let children experience life. They never let the children experience failure, lo que es fallar, lo que es fracasar. They never let them fail. They never let them cry. They never let them get angry. And these are things that are necessary that children have to experiment, y los niños se tienen que arriesgar, porque si no se arriesgan de niños, no se arriesgan de adultos. So they'll never start a new business. So they'll never go after a new obstacle. So they'll never try something new because they'll be very afraid. Because when they were children, their parents said, no, that's too dangerous. So it's very important that, you know, we let our children take risks, take chances, and try things. And finally, number 12 is pet a cat you encounter when you encounter one on the street. O sea, significa toque un gato, acaricie un gato cuando se encuentra uno en la calle. And what that means is that we're always so busy because we're always working and we always have something to do, but life can finish tomorrow. And so sometimes we forget about how beautiful life can be. Sometimes you just have to take 5 minutes and just look at the sky and say, oh my God, thank God I'm alive. I have a job. I'm eating. You know, and we don't do that. I think we don't do that enough. And I'll tell you something that's super interesting. There was an artist, his name was, or an author, his name was Marcel Proust. And he has a book called Marcel Proust. What was the name of that book? It's a very long book. It has many chapters.
I'm going to buy and read.
Oh,
Yes.
este 12 reglas para mí es fantástico.
Oh, yes.
Muy bueno. Ya le voy a book. There was a book by this Marcel Proust. The name of it was what was the name of it? Huh. There's such a most famous. I read the book and I thought it was really cool because it talked about how, you know, when a child is maybe in the street and it was just raining, maybe, and
Yes.
a children sees a puddle, un charco, and they get very happy and they jump and they think it's really
Yes.
cool. You know,
Yes.
we forget that, and when we become adults, that never makes us happy, you know, to see a puddle, and we forget about things, the little things that make life wonderful. I'm going to show you something that he said in the book that was very interesting. For
Oh.
example, this. Maybe you see this. Maybe you'll see this in a store. Maybe you'll see this somewhere. Maybe a painting like this. You go to a store and you see a painting like this, and you say, "Oh, it's beautiful. That painting is beautiful."
Uh-huh.
But maybe when you were walking to work today, you passed by like 50 flowers like this, just like this, or more beautiful, but you didn't see them.
Yes.
You didn't see them.
Uh-huh.
And so
Yes.
I think it's a good example where he says, when you see an artist, a painter, for example, a painter or many artists have the talent to see something that is beautiful in the world, and they can paint it. They take it, cogen esa esencia de ese momento, de esa belleza, and they paint it. And then we can look at it and say, "Oh, that's beautiful." But that beauty is everywhere. Esa belleza está a todo lado. But we don't see it because we don't think like the artist. And we have to think more like the artist. And so I thought that was a good, so this Marcel Proust, he said that in this book, but, you know, going back to what Jordan Peterson said, that's what he means by rule number 12. And I thought that, it was it's a really good book. And it's very interesting because it's, like I said, it's a little bit of philosophy, but it's a little bit of psychology. So this is the name of it in Spanish, Isa, 12 reglas para vivir, the Jordan Peterson. And so I'm going to share this with you here.
Yes, please.
I'm going to share this with you here, but I don't know. Where are you here? Here you are. Which one's your telephone number? Which one's yours? Is it
407? No.
3028? Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I think this one's it, right? Oh, no. La mandé el group. Nice. There you go.
Yeah.
I think I know which one is yours. The one that says Isa, right?
Yes.
That one. All right. So this is
No,
the
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, there you go.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
that one's really cool. I hope you enjoy it. Anyway. All right. So interesting. So that's the book that changed my perspective of things. All right, goes to my next question here. Isa, have you ever experienced a natural disaster?
Only the, how do you say, temblor?
Earthquake.
What?
An earthquake. Earthquake.
Earthquake, yes.
Where were
in
you?
In Bogotá, but
Long time
more
ago?
or less. Yes.
Where were you? Oh my God, what happened?
Yes, I was in my house when all things moved. Yeah, oh my God.
Oh
What
boy.
happened?
Were you
Yes,
by
but
yourself? Who were you with?
oh no, I stayed with my parents in the house, and it's in the house, and all the people carry the alarm sounds, the car. When
Oh wow.
yes, more or less
How strong
15
was
years.
the earthquake? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember. No, but it was scary.
Oh, of course, yeah. Because
Yes.
we can't control it, so it can be very scary.
Yes, exactly. And you?
I've never had like besides, like, just like you, besides the earthquake, I have never had like a natural disaster, a strong one. No, nothing strong. I remember I think it was 1996 in New York. There was a blizzard, but I don't know how to say blizzard in Spanish. Hold on, let me see. There was a
Okay.
blizzard, and so it snowed for 3 days, and there was so much snow. But for me, it was fantastic because I mean I was 16 years old, so I was like, "Yay, fun!" But I remember there was so much snow, and I enjoyed it very much because we didn't have school. Aquí dices que ventisca. I don't know what that is, but
Oh,
a blizzard is a very strong snowstorm. That's the only thing. Maybe, you know, not too bad. I'm very lucky. I've been in some earthquakes, but you know, nothing too strong. Thank God. Thank God. All right. So Isa, tell me a goal that maybe at one time in your life you say, you know, I want to achieve, quiero alcanzar, I want to achieve this goal, and I'm gonna do it. And then you started working towards that goal, and you did it. What was that goal, and how did you do it?
I want to be a pilot, but first I need to learn very good English and have my papers in this country.
Right.
Many
How much
things.
more time do you need for your papers, Isa, to have your papers?
Oh no, no, it's because in this country it's hard to be a resident
Mhm.
because it's only married with something or solicitar asilo.
Yeah.
Mm,
That's asylum, to have an asylum.
side.
Asylum, yeah.
Yes. Is the two ways because it's hard, but this moment I going to give me a moment.
Sure.
Okay, in this moment I am in the way for have my papers because
Right.
I'm married with something, but not for the love, only for the business. But
Yeah.
it's hard. And when someone married with another person for business, it's a lot of money
Yeah.
for the
Very
liar,
expensive.
for the government, for the person that make the paper. Yes, but it's hard. But I am in this way, and I hope in the future maybe study to be a pilot.
For sure. I think it's totally possible. And cuando menos piense, como dice, ¿no? Cuando menos piense, ya va a estar. Time goes by so fast, Isa. It goes by so fast. So I'm sure you get it, you know, when you least expect it.
Yes, I hope.
Well, but I think it's really cool that you want to be a pilot. I think it's really cool.
Oh, yes,
And
I love it.
and I think we need more female pilots. There aren't too many female pilots. I think it's necessary. We should have more for sure.
Yes, in this country a lot because it's a
Yeah.
big country, have many flights for all the world, and
Right.
yes,
Cool.
yes, yes.
Well, well, Eats, I hope that all your dreams, your goals become reality. You deserve it, and you know, I wish you the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna do great. I'm not worried.
And how about you?
I'll be honest. I want to leave this country, hopefully soon.
Yeah.
And the idea is to leave the country, maybe Ireland, with my best friend, Ireland or Spain. And I think about my children, you know, I think about my kids most of all, because Colombia it's a great country with your favorite food, Isa, with many bandejas
Yeah.
paisas. But
Yes.
unfortunately, the economy is not very good. The government is not very good. So I see that my children can go to the university, and I'm afraid that when they finish the university, they're not going to have a job, or they finish the university and they will make very, very little money and their life will be very difficult. So I would like to leave the country for them so they have a better future. And we will see. Maybe the plan is to leave in 3 years. I let my kids finish high school. They finish school and then we'll go. But we'll see. That's the goal I have. We'll see. Hopefully, everything works out. Let's see.
Yes.
Do you like flying? I mean, you want to be a pilot. That's awesome. Do you like flying? Have you imagined yourself like flying a commercial plane and all that? I mean, wow, that's got to be amazing.
Yes, I love always. I think that, oh my God, it's really good. Fly an airplane.
Yeah,
I want to make it. Yes,
well,
it's funny. It's interesting. It's a good job, good pay, travel a lot.
travel a lot.
Tickets free for me, for my parents, my family.
Yeah, for sure. Of course. That's part of the, yeah.
Yes.
And oh my God, I imagine your parents would be so proud of you.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God.
Travel.
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
I like it.
and they'll be proud of their daughter. Imagine their daughter a pilot. That's fantastic.
Yes, very, very proud.
Yeah, for sure. Very proud. Cool. So Isa, your schedule now in your job, I know you're working at a parking lot right now. How's your schedule? Do you have the weekends off all the time or sometimes, or how does that work?
No, I work in all days, but only my free day is Thursday, tomorrow. And I work in all days 4 p.m. until 11 p.m. Depends, 10, 11, 12 p.m.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
And do you get paid overtime?
No, because in this work is the only pay the hour and tips,
Oh,
and that is the reason the manager say no, only the hours because you have good money with the tips and no overtime.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I used to when I was younger, when I was 18, I used to be a pizza delivery boy. I used to deliver pizza. And
Oh, yeah.
and my boss used to say the same thing. I used to say, hey, boss, why don't you give me some overtime here? And he says, no, you get good money with the tips. They all say that. You get good money with the tips. The tips is get out of here. So
Yes.
I remember, yeah, good times. Oh, Isa, you live in Texas. I don't know about you, but in New York, I miss the pizza from New York so much because it was so delicious. I mean, yes,
Really?
Domino's is good and Pizza Hut is good. Yeah, Papa John's. But like the pizza that they make in a regular Italian pizza shop, like not one that is a franchise, And I wondered, how is the pizza in Texas? Have you tasted any pizza in Texas?
Yes, I like the Domino's or the Papa John.
Papa John's, yeah.
And I don't remember the name, but
have you tasted like a pizza that is not que no es de franquicia, that's not from Papa John's, not from Domino's, and you say, wow, this is good pizza? Like lo que llaman en inglés, lo que llaman a mom and pop shop. No sé si has escuchado este término. Aquí, lo voy a escribir aquí en la pantalla. So, las tiendas que no son de franquicia, que son de personas común y corriente, les dicen a mom and pop shop.
Oh, no.
Entonces, vamos a ver si me aparece.
¿Qué traduce?
Es raro, ¿no? Mom and pop. Let's see, si me aparece. Sí, mira, sí, mira lo que dice. Mom and pop restaurants near me. Entonces son lugares que no son de franquicia.
Ah, ok, como la tienda.
So here is the official definition. It says, mom and pop is a colloquial term used to describe a small, family-owned, or independent business. Mom and pop stores are often operations that struggle to compete with more substantial. So ahí está. There you go. So mom and pop shop. So
Es
have you
como
ever
la
placed like
tienda de la esquina.
exacto. That would be a mom and pop shop.
Oh, no, but I'm not sure. In near where I live, I can find one store of pizza and I like a lot. I don't remember the name and I'm not sure it's only this or maybe in another state, in another city we can find. But I like it a lot. It's delicious. Yes.
Yes.
They make the pizza in their time. I order, oh, please give me 15, 20 minutes. I'm going to make the pizza. Oh, fresquita.
Nice. Wow, cool.
Thank you.
Well, Isa, I don't know if you remember, but today is the last class for this conversation course. And
Okay.
I want to thank you so much because I love having conversations with you. I think we've had a lot of time to practice in the last three classes actually. So
Yes.
it's been a lot of fun. I hope that continue to see you again. I want to wish you the very best, Isa. Wish you the very best in your professional life and your personal life. And don't forget to buy the book. It's really good. And
yes, thank you.
And when you read it or you start reading it, please write me and tell me what you thought of it. I want to hear your opinion.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, teacher.
No, my pleasure, Isa. Thank you so much for being here.